You know, some places, they have a history so dark, it just refuses to stay buried. Today, we're going deep inside a building where the past isn't just history, it's a permanent resident. We're going inside the Aradale Asylum. Just look at this place. This is Aradale Asylum in rural Victoria, Australia. It's this sprawling complex, 63 buildings in total, originally built to house thousands. But what it really held was just an unimaginable amount of suffering. 13,000. I mean, just let that number sink in for a second. Yeah, that's the estimated number of people, patients, prisoners, even staff, who died inside these walls over 127 years. Think about it, that's almost 100 deaths every single year. So where does this all lead? Well, this quote, it comes from a modern-day paranormal investigation. A police officer brought in a cadaver dog, for training, and the dog just went absolutely frantic in the men's ward. It was reacting like it could still smell a corpse that had been gone for who knows how long. And this is exactly where that dark history starts to bleed right into the present. So that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? How did a symbol of Victorian progress, a place that was supposed to be a refuge, decay into a site of such profound terror and, well, lingering paranormal energy? To really get why this place is so haunted, you have to understand what happened here. We need to go back. Okay, so let's rewind. Let's go all the way back to the beginning, to a time when Aradale wasn't about fear at all. It was actually about hope. Back in the 1860s, you have to understand, this wasn't meant to be a place of horror. It was a vision. A huge, state-of-the-art facility. Look at that architecture. It was designed to be this modern, humane solution for mental health care. A grand statement from a society that truly believed it could cure the incurable. And its lifespan was just immense. I mean, it opened its doors in 1867 and didn't officially close them until 1994. That's 127 years of continuous operation. Think of all the history, all the changes in medicine and society that happened during that time. And on paper, the original idea was actually kind of brilliant. It was supposed to be its own little self-contained town. Patients would work on the farms, they'd learn trades. It was all meant to be this therapeutic community. But as you can probably guess, that utopian dream, yeah, it curdled into a nightmare. And it did it fast. But that vision, that hopeful vision, it didn't last. Once those doors slammed shut, the asylum started playing by its own terrifying set of rules. So you're probably wondering, who were the people who actually ended up here? Well, under the Lunacy Act back then, the reasons for being committed were, well, shockingly broad. Sure, you had people with genuine mania or dementia, but you could also get locked up for things like asthma, epilepsy, or even just for hanging out with bad company. It became a place where families could, just get rid of inconvenient relatives. And this created an absolutely terrifying trap. You see, the same went, it took 2 signatures to get you in, but it took 8 to get you out. Getting in was easy. Getting out, nearly impossible. Especially after this one incident, where a released patient committed a murder. After that, the government panicked and changed the law. 8 signatures. It was a bureaucratic wall that for so many people turned a trip to the asylum into a life sentence. And once you were inside, well, the patients were often treated as less than human. The conditions were just horrific. And the building itself, the architecture was designed to hide the suffering. Get this, beneath the floorboards, they installed a foot-thick layer of clay. For one reason and one reason only, to muffle the screams so nobody outside could hear them. The so-called treatments were basically just torture. You had lobotomies, you had surgeries, often done with no anesthetic at all. But one of the cruelest, most bizarre things they did was something called salt boxing. They would strap a box to a patient's face and then just drop finely ground rock salt right into their eyes. The idea? It was a diversion tactic, meant to distract them from the pain of whatever else was being done to them. It's just unbelievable. So, when you hear all of that, is it really any surprise that the past doesn't stay in the past at Aradale? The amount of trauma that's soaked into this place, it's like it permanently scarred the very bricks and mortar. And today, you can see it. Those same decaying halls that held thousands of suffering souls are now filled with ghost tours and paranormal investigators. People are just drawn to this place. It's like they're trying to listen to the stories that the walls themselves seem to be screaming. You know, it's funny. Over the decades, they kept changing the name of the place. It went from Ararat Asylum to the Hospital for the Insane, then the Ararat Mental Hospital, and finally just Aradale. The names got softer, more clinical, to reflect the changing times. But here's the thing. While the name on the gate changed, what was happening inside, that brutal reality, it stayed pretty much the same. And the paranormal reports from inside today, they are just chillingly consistent. You know, it starts with sounds, disembodied screams echoing down empty hallways, phantom footsteps when no one's there. Then people see things, full-bodied apparitions that just vanish, doors that start shaking violently for no reason. But for some, it gets physical. People report feeling like they're being touched or pushed or even dragged by something they can't see. So here's the takeaway, the thing you really need to understand. The haunting of Aradale, it's not just a bunch of spooky ghost stories. It is the echo of 13,000 souls. It's the echo of unimaginable pain and of a system that completely forgot about the human beings it was supposed to be protecting. And that leaves us with one final haunting question. When people walk through those halls today, hearing those whispers and feeling those cold spots, are they just looking for a cheap thrill? Or, after 127 years of being ignored, are the voices of Aradale finally being heard?